Hi folks, this is Ben from carrypad.com. I've got the Motorola Xoom here, and I'd like to do a little demonstration about how you can edit video on the device. Android 3.0 comes preloaded with this movie studio application, which we're going to be having a look at. And basically this is Google telling us, look at our tablets, you can edit video on them. And, you know, I guess they're making the statement that they believe that this is a serious video editing option. So let's explore that a little bit and find out what you really can and can't do. So the first thing that I want to start with is where we're going to get the media, or how we're going to get the media to the Motorola Xoom. Although the Motorola Xoom does have a 5 megapixel camera that's capable of recording HD video 720p, I find it unlikely that people are going to be wielding this thing out in the field, or while they're making some sort of production as a camera. It just doesn't seem very practical because it's large and it's heavy. So more likely, I think that people will be taking videos on either a dedicated video camera or on a smartphone that they can pocket and have with them. So starting from that point, that means we need to get media to the Xoom somehow, which, as you'll come to find, is a bottleneck already. So I've got the Galaxy tab here, and I just shot some video on it. So let's just pretend this is a smartphone for now. So I've got some video on here that I shot, and I want to edit it into a little video. The issue with this is that the fastest and probably easiest way to accomplish getting the media from the tab to the Xoom is by means of using a computer as a sort of middleman. So you'd hook them up. You'd hook up the tab to USB to the computer, transfer the video, and then hook up the Xoom to the computer and transfer the video. But that inherently, to me, is an issue because if you're going to be transferring the media through a computer, you may as well just be editing the media on the computer itself. So it doesn't really make sense to take the extra step of taking it from the computer onto the Xoom, editing it, and then back to the computer for more upload options than you can get out of the Xoom. So that doesn't really make sense in terms of workflow. So let's explore what other options we have. I'll just throw the tab up here real quick, and we can actually just look. So here's the video, and I can use share via all share. That's just a UPnP sharing client for sending it to any UPnP or a DLNA compatible player. So that's not really what we want. That's just streaming. Bluetooth is one of the only other options we have here. Messaging, obviously going to hit a file size limit on that, and Gmail also hits file size limits very quickly, so it's not very useful for sending video files around as attachments, especially not HD video. YouTube, once you get it up there, even though there's not usually file size, too strict of file size restrictions for the most part, once you get it up there, you can't necessarily download it onto your Xoom. Maybe that's possible with a third-party application, but as far as I know, you certainly can't do it with the official YouTube implementation from the Xoom. So Bluetooth is really our only option here for getting video between these two devices. Problem with Bluetooth is it's very slow. Bluetooth 3.0 has not hit the streets en masse yet, so things are going to be taking quite a while, especially when it comes to HD video. But regardless, that's pretty much the best alternative we have, because again, if I was going through a PC middleman, that just wouldn't really make any sense to me. I would just edit it right on the computer anyway. So let's set up a scenario where we don't have the computer available to us. We're on the road, got our smartphone, got our tablet, need to edit a video. So here's what we've got. So as I said, I got the video on here. Bluetooth is going to be our only option, so I want to show you how that happens. So we're going to say share via Bluetooth, and this will fortunately turn Bluetooth on for us, and it's going to start looking for the Xoom. Now the Xoom is not going to be discovered on that list until I jump into the settings here, turn on Bluetooth, and make sure that the device is discoverable. So let me make sure that that can happen. Jump into Bluetooth settings here, and you need to check off the discoverable button there, and it's going to make it discoverable for 120 seconds. So back on the tab, we're going to scan again, found the Xoom. We're going to connect to that, it says sending to Xoom there, and this wants to pair. We also have a pairing request over here, so we're going to hit pair on both. Accept. Okay, so now we're paired, and you'll see down here on the Zoom, we've got a notification just popped up that says we have an incoming file, which is pretty cool. So that pops up with a notification, tap on it to receive. Do I want the file? Yes, I do. And now it's going to start downloading that. In the background, I can check my progress from the notifications pane down here. As I said, this is pretty slow. So this is an SD video file coming over from the Galaxy tab. It's only a minute long, and you can see we're 5%, 6%. It's going to take several minutes just for this 1 minute standard def video clip. I had a 1 minute HD video clip that is actually the file I'm going to be editing on here, and it took about 10 minutes to move over. Just 1 minute long. It's about 67 megabytes. So that is going to be your first hurdle for editing videos on the Zoom. But anyway, let's stop this. As I said, I've already got an HD clip on here, and we're going to work with that. So we're going to jump into Movie Studio here, and we are going to fire up a new project. So let's just jump through this step by step. And this is really the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me. I wanted this to be more of an exploratory thing than me just saying, "Oh, look, I'm a pro at this." So we're going to be walking into this as a user would initially come to it, you know, with our own reservations about how video editing software should work and what's intuitive, what's not. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's title this project My Movie. And we're going to jump into this little video editor here. And this software is very dark, so I'm going to hit a light up here for you real quick. Hopefully you can get some better contrast. I don't know if that is doing much better. This actually may be the best way to view it. Sorry if it's hard to see, but it's very dark. Hard for the camera to pick up. So, let's see. Alright, we've got I don't know, some radial controls here, some playback controls, timeline down here. So the first thing we're going to want to do, obviously, is get our media into this editor. So up here I see a little film strip with a plus button. I'm going to go for that. Jump into the gallery. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, the Zoom does have a micro SD card. So I actually explored the option of taking a micro SD card out of, say, an Android smartphone that you would have taken the media on and putting it in here. That would have been a very quick way to get the media onto here, but unfortunately when I tried that, the video was not recognized in the Zoom's gallery player, so that sort of made that option not working for me. Maybe there's some workarounds for that, but as far as I was able to find, I couldn't get that option to work. So anyway, here's our media that I transferred earlier. This is an HD video file. This is 1280 by 720. So we're going to select this, and it's going to import it into our editor here. So this is just some obscure content, just people walking around, and we're just going to try to turn it into a little video. So how exactly do we navigate this software? As you can see, you can swipe through the clip here. You get these little highlights when you're if you're trying to scroll past where you're allowed to. This little highlight tells you that you're at the end. Similarly, happens on the other side over here. So, what can we really do with this? Let's see. This little radial control here increases your zoom on the timeline. So, as I spin that up, it's basically magnifying this timeline, so I can be more specific about the areas that I'm selecting. And going back does the opposite. You can actually do the same thing with a pinch gesture here. And as you can see, it's taking quite some time to generate the thumbnails down here in the timeline, and I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's because this is HD content, so it takes a little bit longer to process that. Let's see if it ever does pop in at all. Let's give it a minute here. Yep. So every time I zoom, it would appear it needs to re-render the frame thumbnails, and it takes some time to do that. Anyway, so on the ends of the clips here, you can see there are plus film strip buttons, so I can add clips at the front or beginning right there. And it took me a while to discover where the basic tools in this are. So you have to click on a clip itself to be able to really do anything with it. And then you get this bar up here, and you get some options up here. I think it would be much easier if, when you clicked on it, you sort of got textual options about what you wanted to do. So, because the first time you pretty much have to guess what you're going to do here. I mean, the trash can, sure, that's delete, but this little film strip with a zigzag on it, I don't know what that means if I've never tried it before. And same with the other one. We've got a fin. Does that end the clip and the movie? Are those credits? I wouldn't know if this is the first time coming across this, so it's not immediately intuitive. And then there's some little checkerboard pattern here. I don't even know what that does, so let's click on that. Alright, so that will let us add effects. So let's add a silly effect here, negative, and let's add it up pretty quickly. And now here's the play button. And it's playing this back at a pretty low frame rate, but I mean, it's understandable, I suppose, if we're trying to edit HD video. But then again, you have to also accept the fact that this comes with an HD camera on it, and it should be expected that it can handle this sort of video. So it's a little bit slow. This button will take us back to the beginning. There I'm trying to play again, and it is not running very well at all. It's very jumpy. That'll take us to the end. Beginning. I guess that just jumps per clip. So let's see what else we can do. We've got a little effect on here. Down here there's an audio timeline. So we can hit the play button, pick a music track. I don't know what any of these songs are, but why don't we try this one? Then you hit the OK button, and it looks like it's importing the music for us right now. And while that is doing that, this little context button up here lets us change the project name. This button up here will take us back to the main menu of all your different projects. And okay, that's pretty cool. It shows us the waveform down here, so we can see where the loud parts of the song are. Let me see what our options are with this particular clip. It looks like we can change the volume here. And well, I just don't know what that button does. I'm really unsure. But anyway, let me see if we have any long press options on this now. Or on this, nope. Let's see if that'll play in real time. Make sure we're not muted. There we go. So that will play along with our video, and it looks like it automatically ended at the end of the clip over here. So let's say we want to clip a video. As far as I can find, there is no cutting or splitting option. It looks like you can combine effects here. So we've got negative. Suppose we can also add gradient. I don't know if that combined them or if it just overwrote them. But anyway, let's look for our basic tools, which are way more important than adding little effects. Fin, this gives us titles. The zigzag line gives us transitions. And as far as I can find, there is no way to split a video clip, which to me is just absurd. I don't have any idea how you could overlook that. I mean, if you know anything about like real film strips, the most basic form, arguably, of editing is cutting a strip and making a cut of some sort of a scene or anything. So how that's not included here, I mean, it's almost like I must be missing it. But as far as I have looked through this program, I have found no way to split a clip. The best I can find is that you can hold down and grab the sides here, and you can trim. So I can shorten the length of the clip, but if I'm trying to do multiple cuts, if I'm trying to split up one big clip into several different pieces, that means I need to try to cut and align all sorts of times, which is just really not feasible at all. So the fact that there's no cutting on here is just absolutely going to ruin any chance at real video editing on this device. So anyway, I mean, let's keep attempting to make a video here. So we've got the video, I've trimmed it a little bit, I can't cut it, I could add other clips on the end, but again, if I wanted to use multiple different scenes from one take that I've done, then I would have to trim on both ends into the spot that I wanted, and then I'd have to import the same clip again and trim to another spot that I wanted, which is just way more work and just totally impractical compared to just saying, okay, I want to cut, delete that part, and move these two together. So that absolutely needs to be added at some point before this can be taken even remotely seriously as a video editing platform. But anyway, let's see. So I could potentially add another video here on the end of this one. So we'll do our trimming thing. And again, I mean, the trimming might look simple and it might not sound as complicated as I'm explaining it to be, but if I was really editing here and trying to align, you know, specific times and specific frames on these videos, as one would be doing with any serious video editing project, it would be a major pain in the ass. But at least here we can check out the transitions. So this is the transitions little dialog box right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 transitions. At the bottom you can adjust how long they're going to run. So let's say I want a 2-second crossfade. Let me see if it can okay, it's going to render that effect down here. It's got a little bar going. And then we should be able to preview it. So I'm going to play this. Oh, it's still rendering, so the play button is actually grayed out. Okay, it's all done. Alright, pretty good fade effect. Let's see if we can add some text on here. So you've got 4 different options for text: centered title, bottom title, centered title of a different color, bottom title of a different color. So very bare bones. They could have just added those 2 different things and let you alter the colors instead of having just 2 different colors. But so title, just throw something up here. So that should... Okay, so that's putting this title down here in a 3rd track, and I can pull and... Can I move that? Yes, I can move that where I want within this clip, but if I want to move it over to another clip, I actually have to add an individual title to that clip before I can do that. Let me see how it handles rearranging these. So I can sort of flip these back and forth, but it's a little jumpy. So I just trying to move this clip to the beginning of the video, and it is not liking that so much. Okay, I think I was able to move the beginning clip to the end. Okay, so it's letting me move those around. That is handy. Let me add another transition in here. Try some slide out. Just going to render that again. And while I'm at it, I'm going to see if I can add a picture into this. So I've got my picture in here, and I can drag that only to a few seconds apparently. I don't know why I couldn't make it indefinitely long, but I guess I could add the picture several times if I wanted it to be longer. And you can have transitions between video and pictures. Rendering that transition real quick, and then we'll play it through, and then we will export it and see what our options are for uploading once it's been processed. Okay, so it's going to let me play. So here comes our last transition into a photo. And that's the end of our 36-second video made on the Motorola Xoom. And now let's see what we can do to export it. So, here are a couple more options. We can change aspect ratio between 3:2, which is strange. It's not a common format. You can change between 3:2 and 16:9, and now that I have widescreen video here, it's actually giving me the option to either use borders or stretch or crop, which is nice. Something I wouldn't have expected them to let you modify, considering the missing basic features, but let's see. So when we're unselecting, we have the option to change the aspect ratio, change the product name, and export the movie. So I say 3:2 is weird because it's not a standard media shape. You've got 16:9, 4:3, and then some cinematic widescreens, but 3:2 is the shape that the shape of the iPhone and iPod touchscreen, but not the shape that they record video in. So that's a really odd use of 3:2 aspect ratio there. If somebody knows more about that than me, feel free to correct me, but I don't quite understand why they would have picked that. So let's export. It's re-rendering something. And it looks like when you click on transition, you can edit it. That's handy, so you don't have to delete it and re-add. Okay, export project. It's going to let us choose two different sizes, 848 by 480 or 1280 by 720. So we're going to want to go with the 1280 by 720 because that is our source quality. And we'll make the movie quality high, of course. And now we're going to export. It actually seems to be, well, more zippy than the Bluetooth transfer, that's for sure. But again, this is a 36-second video, and I should have started a timer for this. But it looks like it's going to take, as long as it continues on this path, it looks like it'll take about a minute. So presumably that has now been exported to the device somewhere, and let's look where we'll be able to share it by default. Movies. Here's my video. We'll do playback real quick. And the sound is still there, I just have it muted. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear that over the video that I'm taking right now, but let me just double check. Yeah, when it exported, the audio quality got way worse, which is really disappointing. Yes, the audio quality is far worse than it was previewing in the video editor there. But anyway, so we've got, here's our whole video. Wonderful. Now how do we share it? Oops. So I can use the share button, YouTube, Bluetooth, some Evernote third-party application, and Gmail. Let's see if it's going to yell, yep, file too large to attach. So this is a 36-second video, and I can't send it via email. So the best place I could go to is YouTube, and I'm sure that there are some third-party applications that will let you send it to other places, but this is all that is available by default. So, I mean, probably the easiest way would just be able to export this back to a computer, but again, then you're relying on a system that you should have used to edit the video in the first place. So that may or may not make all that much sense when you really look at actual workflow. But that is editing HD video on the Motorola Xoom, and I appreciate you guys hanging around to have a look. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions about this, feel free to let us know in the comments. So thanks a lot for watching with us. I hope you guys all have a great day, and please keep checking us out at carrypad.com.